Welcome back to the Crows Show. The club has appointed Scott Camporelli as the interim senior coach for the remainder of the season. He's been here since 2011 and shares Phil Walsh's vision and football philosophy. It's now his job to guide the playing group, fellow coaches and staff through the challenges ahead.
Yeah, well, obviously when Phil came, he had a real clear pathway as to how he wanted to take this club forward, and the vision that he had for this footy club, the way he wanted the game played is I guess we had similar philosophies on that. So hence one of the reasons is we're going down the same path. So be really clear messaging with the players as to what we're going after. That was one of Phil's real strong points, in that there was no grey. You know, it was really black and white, and the players really respected that. So, you know, we'll keep going down that path.
What I want you to think about, what your mindset is right now when you go out there, is team care. What you do when you haven't got the footy to make a step.
One thing about Walshy is it was always team first. You know, he came in, you know, wanted all the coaches to sit together. You know, there's always constant banter and jokes, and with Phil, he's one of the best storytellers, you know, going around. He's obviously had a lot of experience, you know, on and off the field, and that was one thing that he really endeared to the players, was his storytelling. And also, the thing I loved about him was his real balance of intensity versus having fun around the footy club. I think that's really important in this environment. You know, there is a lot of pressure, but he just had a real knack of being able to release the pressure and have some fun as well. But when it was time to go to work, it was time to go to work, and the players certainly knew that. To be in this position, as tough as it is a real honour, you know, to be able to take over from Phil and be in this position. But I'm trying to look at it as potentially it's still the senior assistant, but Phil's just quite not here at the moment, and, you know, just get the job done that he would have wanted.
In times of need, like the club and the entire Crows family are experiencing, people step up. John Worsfold, West Coast Premiership coach and mentor to Walshy, didn't hesitate in accepting the newly created role of Director of Coaching.
Well, at the moment we'll feel our way through, but a strong support role for the coaching staff. There's been some changes, obviously with Scott stepping up as senior coach. I'll support them as they face some challenges and maybe some doubts they have around their decision making, just be a sounding board for them. The current group, Campo and the coaches, they're on a pathway that was driven by Walshy and set in place, and they were very supportive of that game plan and the strategies, and they'll maintain those. I will support them through that and hold them accountable to doing that. We had a very strong working relationship for 5 years while he was at West Coast, and you know, when you're working in that environment, you're pretty flat out. You spend a lot of time together. You don't have a lot of social time together because almost all your time is in a working relationship. When he took the job on at Adelaide, I definitely touched base with him to congratulate him. I was rapt to see him step up, and he's got too much talent not to have a go at being a senior coach. And then he followed up to see if I would come and give him some feedback on how he had things set up. Well, I got Walshy to West Coast because of his reputation. I knew a bit about him, but obviously you do your background hunting, and I thought Walshy was going to add massive value to West Coast for his footy nous. When he came to West Coast, he was reluctant to be a senior coach, but he had it in him to be a very good senior coach. He was quite happy being in the background, and he had to be aware, and I spoke to him about it when I was in Adelaide, that you are now a public figure and you're going to be the face of the Adelaide Footy Club. Are you ready for that? And at that point he was learning to deal with it. But you know, I learnt from Walshy a lot about strategy, passion, energy that he had for the game. You know, he saw the game, big picture stuff. He was about wanting to watch good footy. It wasn't about whether one team was winning or losing. It was about, are they playing good footy?
We'll be back after the break with more on this special edition of The Crows Show.